What's going on? Today I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my Aerodactyl GX deck. We did make a video featuring Aerodactyl GX and Slowpoke Psyduck Tag Team GX. There is a link below if you want to check that out and see the deck in action. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how the deck has turned out. I made a few changes since that video, but I think it's pretty good. So I'm running one Ditto Prism Star. It's just helpful for a basic to start the game with and not mulligan, and good for evolving to Aerodactyl and also Arch and Archeops. When Diancie Prism Star, it's great in fighting decks, period, and it's really good in this deck, just helpful for being able to get 2-hit KOs or 1-hit KOs on non-GXs. For Zygardes, he's the basic you're going to be shooting to start with every game. He's good for being able to recycle energies from your discard pile, and also just softening up Tag Team GXs or other Pokemon for Aerodactyl or Archeops to clean them up. And he also can kind of hit pretty hard if you've got a couple Zygardes down and Diancie down. 3 Aerodactyl GX, he's got a great ability right now, really good against the tag teams. His attacks are alright, they're not amazing, but most of the time he'll be getting 2-hit KOs, which is good, and with the Diancie and the Dojo, it's pretty much guaranteed he'll be getting a 2-hit KO. And sometimes you can pick up a 1-hit KO with his GX attack, and it's pretty good. And his attacks pretty much is just a 1 energy attack or a 2 energy attack with your triple acceleration energy for Boulder Crush. So 3/3 Archin and Archeops. Archeops works really good with Aerodactyl GX. Archeops discarding energies for 1 energy, and then Aerodactyl increasing the cost of energies for basic Pokemon. So, and Archeops also is hitting pretty hard for 1 energy. He can be hitting up to 100 with Diancie, 140 with if you're down prizes with your Dojo. So he's pretty good and pretty fun to use. I've got 4 Acrobikes for consistency, 4 custom catchers just for picking, gusting up a Pokemon from the bench. You need to be able to do that if they're retreating, because you're not one-shotting things, you're weakening things, and you gotta make sure you're picking up those KOs and not letting them just prevent you from killing guys. So, 2 Pokemon Communication, just for being able to shuffle guys back into your deck, and it's helpful for being able to get Diancie, but really you're able to get most of your guys with the Research Lab. So Reset Stamp is really good in this deck. Late in the game when you've discarded energies and you're increasing the attack costs, Reset Stamp can really put the game in your favor. So 2 Reset Stamps. Stadium Navs for, I think this is the best option for this deck to be able to get your Research Labs first turn. Greens, Exploration's an option, and Bill's Analysis is another option, but neither, well, so Greens, you can't have guys with abilities, which doesn't work for this deck because you have Diancie, and then they don't work the rest of the game because most of your guys have abilities. And then Bill's Analysis, there's just not a guarantee you're going to get into it. So Stadium Nav, as long as you get heads once, you can get your Research Lab and then do that first turn, which is great, and it sets you up for the rest of the game. 2 switches, pretty much need them just so you don't get Diancie stuck up in front. 4 Unidentified Fossils. I think just having these in case you're not able to use, well, not in case, but just so you're not having to rely on your Research Lab the whole game, you can just use that first turn. You basically saved yourself a turn or 2 of evolving Pokemon and waiting, and then you have your Unidentified Fossils to evolve guys throughout the game if you need to. 1 Dojo. This card is really good in this deck, and good because your attacks aren't doing tons of damage. So if you're down prizes, you're doing up to 40 more, or you're doing 40 more, and then if you're up prizes, then you're just doing 10. But it's still really good. 4 Research Labs. You're definitely wanting to get into this first turn, and I've built it so hopefully you're doing that, but you can draw poorly. But this card is really good in this deck, and it sets you up for the rest of the game. For supporters, I've got 4 Cynthia and 3 Lilies for consistency. I think they're the best options for this from my testing, and then 1 Sightseer just to get rid of some of the stuff that you won't need later in the game, like Research Labs. After your first turn, you don't need them. Pretty much just those. Most of the other things you can play, but it's just another card to try and get you into the cards you need. Pokemon energies, 4 energy, triple acceleration energy. Really good with Aerodactyl. I haven't had it become a problem where I'm running out of these, and I'm using Archeops to attack just as much as Aerodactyl, so 4 is enough, and then Zygarde can recycle basic fighting energies anyways. 1 recycle energy, good with Aerodactyl, Archeops, so you're not having to waste energies on him, and this just gets bounced back to your hand, or you can use it to retreat. And then 5 fighting energies is enough, because most of your attacks are 1 energy attacks. So yeah, I think this deck is really fun. It's really fun to use fossils, and I would definitely recommend trying it out. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.